Hello artists, Thomas here, and I remembered the shout outs today. Past few videos I completely forgot about shout outs at the beginning of the video, so forgive me for that, but today's shout out goes to Catherine Rob Art. Has some juicy little landscapes, and yeah, so go follow her if you're into landscape painting. But if you're interested in being featured as a shout out in one of my videos, just tag me in an Instagram story with a print screen from this video or one of my videos or whatever. You get the message. So the video topic, what you really need to think about before going into a fine art degree or thinking about doing a fine art course. Now, I think you really just need to think about, in your context and what you're paying for the course, is it worth it? So for example, me speaking from a UK context, you pay £27,000, £9,000 a year for a three-year degree course, and majority of us are taking out a student loan from the government for that £27,000. Now, if you don't pay off that loan within 30 years, the government wipes it. If you don't earn over a certain amount, you don't have to pay back that loan monthly. And on top of that, the government's not going to come and take your house, take your kids, take your new iPhone 12 or whatever you're interested in. So it's not really a kind of crazy loan to be taking out, except for the interest, which they've now started to add since like maybe 5 or 6 years ago or something like that. They started adding interest on top of this loan, which was crap. But my point is taking out that loan isn't really going to ruin the majority of UK students' life, and if they're not earning over a certain amount anyways, it's not even affecting them on a monthly basis. But on the other hand, if you are a student who's taking out a much more dangerous loan where people are going to come after you and, you know, ask you for that money back, and then maybe if you've taken out some kind of high interest loan to do a course which isn't going to really get you or teach you anything in the practical world for how to make money out of your art, or take you down a route where you're actually going to earn a considerable amount of money to be able to pay back that ridiculous price that you're paying for your course, then you might want to rethink about whether it's practical or if it makes sense to go into that course in the first place. So a question you need to ask yourself is, do you know what you want to do after your degree? Because doing it and not doing it, you know, that answer can depend on whether you are kind of self-aware enough and have a good enough direction of what you want to do. Now, I understand a lot of people watching these videos are quite young. A lot of us don't know what we want to do. But you know what also makes sense? Sometimes spending a couple years out of education and deciding that and exploring things and realizing that paying that £30,000 to go and do a degree might be a ridiculous idea if you make the wrong decision because you just didn't go and experience some things first. Because universities aren't going away. They're there to take your money day in, day out. So they're still going to be interested in you even if you take a year or two out and then come back to them as a more mature, experienced individual. So let's talk self-awareness and where kind of the direction you want to go. Say you're someone who is business orientated, okay? I've spoken again and again and again on this channel about how if you want to be an artist, you need to be business orientated because you are a business, your artwork is your product, and you need to learn how to sell that product. That's it. Now, if you are business orientated, I will tell you that from my understanding, especially in the UK context, from other students I've spoken to, all universities are not going to give you any kind of training when it comes to promoting your artwork in terms of marketing, business. You might have like one lecture on, oh yeah, you can go and do a residency, oh yeah, you should network and blah blah blah, but zero practicality when it comes to the real world, when it comes to selling your artwork and I guess making a living out of your own practice. There is no guidance on it whatsoever because universities are totally outdated. Their education is old and outdated. They have no idea about social media marketing and the current forms of marketing because that's where it is right now. The internet has changed the world and universities have not caught up yet. So if that's the direction you want to take, you need to ask yourself, okay, should I go and spend £27,000 on a degree course, or should I get a crappy job, work my arse off for 3 years, save up 25 grand and invest that into marketing or invest everything you make if you can live in your room in your parents' house, but invest everything that you make into social media marketing. Over 3 years, grow 100,000 followers on Instagram, and then actually be able to sell prints, t-shirts, whatever it is you go into to promote your artwork and sell it. Maybe that's a better direction for you. But bear in mind, to do that, you need discipline. You need to be able to know how to improve your skills and understand kind of a studio practice that's going to work for you and produce high enough quality work so that people will buy it when you come around to selling it. But then on the other hand, for example, let's say you want to go into teaching, you need a degree, either a teaching degree, obviously a degree then converted, or getting a teaching qualification after you finish a degree to then go on and do teaching. So maybe a degree is the right path for you, and you'd like that 3 years of kind of creativity and freedom, which an art degree does offer, which I think is a fantastic thing. I think a lot of other degrees and education formats are these rigid, robotic kind of just learn. You're not necessarily kind of exercising your mind at all, exercising your creativity. You're just, regurgitating information for an exam, and in the real world, it doesn't really do you much of a favor. That's my opinion. I think one thing that is good about the artistic environment is that you do have that freedom to think, and if you are a positive, self-driven individual, then that environment can be very beneficial to you. But if you are someone who is lazy and doesn't want to do much, that environment will be useless to you. I think the problem with modern art education is we all have obviously positives and negatives as human beings. And I think the problem with modern education is it doesn't have that kind of, it doesn't teach you how to improve as an individual. You have to work that out yourself. And I know this can be different for each kind of person, but university is not going to teach you how to be disciplined and practical and constantly improve. And they're just going to talk to you about kind of contexts, give you a tip here, there, get you your freaking academic assignments, and try and look important with all this academic language, which in the real world doesn't really have much use. And I don't want to seem negative. As I said, I've got a whole library of videos here talking about the positive, negatives, my opinion on kind of modern education as it is. But please don't get the wrong idea here. I'm just trying to teach that self-awareness and, understanding what you're going into is so important when it comes to especially going into kind of artistic/creative education. Also, bear in mind that you will never know what the right decision is. I'm in China right now. I'm going to be heading back to the UK soon, but I would never have been in China if I didn't go to my degree. I genuinely have mixed opinions about my degree, and as I reflect on things more, I kind of become more critical as I learn more about the real world and what it takes to kind of, you could say, quote unquote, make it as an artist in the real world, and what has my degree set me up for and given me to make it in the real world. I can't say much, but as I said, I wouldn't be in China right now and had this opportunity to improve my painting skills and just work my ass off in this environment for the past almost 2 years now, which I think has had massive benefits for my painting. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't do my degree. So you will never know what is the right choice, but I'm just trying to give you an understanding of what you need to think about before going into a new environment. Also, the criticisms that I'm putting forward, I'm kind of just generally throwing it out towards the education system as a whole. I feel like primary school didn't teach us many practical things. Secondary school didn't teach us many practical things. College didn't teach us many practical things about dealing with the real world. So why do you expect university to teach you anything that's going to be practical in the real world either? So that's kind of where my criticisms lie. I think there's a balance. As I said, there is an amazing kind of creative opportunity to, I think most courses do not really exercise people's creativity. They just tell you, learn this, regurgitate it for an exam, and then you come out into the real world and you're learning a whole new thing on the job itself. If you end up getting a job, well, today's situation is not great when it comes to jobs, which is why you should start social media. Begin that personal brand as soon as you can. Learn that social media marketing and follow my journey on YouTube. Subscribe. But as I tell everyone who messages me or asks me in my YouTube video, if you want to find out about an environment, go to it. Message the students, go and talk to the students. Don't talk to the admin guy with the brochure who wants to sell you that £27,000 course. Go and talk to the students, find out what they're doing every day, go and see the environment, what facilities do you have available, and then look at yourself. Ask yourself, are you in a position right now where, you know, you're in a mindset and a frame of mind where, you know, when you go into that environment, you're going to make the most out of it? Because one of the reasons I created this channel is throughout my degree, I wish I had been told things or understood things about life and the universe that would have made me work harder and get more out of my degree. So I want to kind of give back my thoughts and what I learned as an individual over the past, 4, 5, 6 years of my life that will help students get more out of their degree. Because unfortunately, your degree is not gonna, not everyone in your degree is gonna help you get the most out of your degree. A lot of that is down to you. And I just want to give you that guidance so that you do get more out of your degree. But as I said earlier, I have a growing library of videos about higher education, art, my own journey, and I will be doing more videos about my own artistic practice very soon. I'm just trying to work out format of how to do it. But I'm excited about that. And once I head back to the UK, there's going to be lots of energy and painting going on. So subscribe to kind of follow me on my own journey, listen to my voice, which I've been told can be quite chill, which is quite nice. You know, nice to have nice YouTube comments every now and again. Don't forget to tag me in an Instagram story if you want the chance of a shout out. And here is my awkward bye.